Just this last month, I made over $8,000 in essentially free crypto by participating in what's called airdrops. And I'm not the only one. Lots of people made anywhere from $1,000 to $30,000 or more. In fact, quite a few of you guys watched my previous videos on the Arbitrum airdrop and ended up making quite a bit of money because of it. And the crazy thing is, to do these airdrops, you don't need a lot of money, and in some cases you hardly need any money at all. And it also doesn't require taking massive risk or anything like that. The only thing it really requires is your time and willingness to go learn new stuff in crypto. That's it, and the people that go do this make thousands of dollars in free crypto. The people that are really good at it will make tens of thousands of dollars in free crypto. And my plan is to make over $100,000 in free crypto from airdrops, and this video is me explaining my plan on how I plan to do that and the top 5 crypto airdrops I'm looking at right now. So a while back, I did a video titled, "If I Only Had $1,000 to Invest Today, Exactly What I Do." And my strategy in that video was mostly based around farming airdrops, specifically farming the Arbitrum airdrop. And looking back, we can see that that strategy would have resulted in an insanely successful outcome. My $1,000 today would be worth anywhere from $3,000 to as high as $13,000 plus, depending on the amount of time that I put into using Arbitrum and farming the airdrop. And the two positions that I took as a part of farming that airdrop, GMX and Magic, would both be sitting on some pretty insane gains, with a 59% gain for GMX and 119% gain for Magic. I also had another video titled "My Plan to Make $10,000 from Crypto Airdrops." And following that plan, while I didn't make $10,000 yet, I did make over $8,000 so far. My whole point being, pay attention to the things I'm about to say, because 6 months from now or a year from now, I might be referencing this video talking about how I made thousands of dollars doing the very same things that I'm about to share with you right now. So what are crypto airdrops? Crypto airdrops are like rewards for early users of crypto blockchains, products, and platforms. Airdrops are a big part of many projects' crypto marketing strategy. Because people think that a certain blockchain or a certain platform might offer an airdrop in the future, they go and they use that blockchain or platform in the hopes of potentially earning some free crypto. It's sort of like how new coffee shops will offer free drinks on opening day to try to get people to come check out their coffee shop. Or how new software companies will operate at a loss for years and they'll offer their main product for free, figuring that when they have enough users, they'll be able to figure out a way to be profitable later down the line. Okay, so let's talk about the top 5 airdrops that I'm looking at to get to my $100,000 goal, which, by the way, I'm currently sitting at around $26,000 made from airdrops so far, which is pretty sweet considering that's near free money. Airdrop number 1 is ZKSYNC. ZKSYNC is a layer 2 scaling solution, sort of like Arbitrum, built on top of Ethereum. Big difference is that ZKSYNC uses a different type of scaling solution called the ZK rollup. Most people agree that ZK rollups are the future of layer 2 networks, and I actually think that Arbitrum and Optimism will eventually convert themselves into ZK rollups as well. The TLDR is basically that ZK rollups are a big deal, and ZKSYNC is kind of like the most hyped ZK rollup in the space currently. Now, an important part of airdrop hunting is realizing that there is no guarantee that you're actually going to get an airdrop when you're airdrop hunting. That's kind of like the whole point. You don't know what the qualifications are going to be. You don't know if they're going to even, airdrop a token, and you don't know if you're going to, get anything for all your work you're putting in. And that's really the biggest risk airdrop hunting, is that you spend all this time working and you don't actually earn an airdrop because of it. So we don't know for sure that ZKSYNC will be airdropping a token, but history tells us it's very likely. Optimism and Arbitrum, they both did airdrops for their token. ZKSYNC has already basically hinted at the fact that they're going to have an airdrop at some point in the future. It's just too powerful of a tool to onboard new users to the ecosystem in the market's current state. To get the airdrop, I'm bridging over funds from Ethereum using ZKSYNC's bridge, and then I'm using those funds to try different apps on ZKSYNC. And so far, I've used Mute.io to swap. I used OnChain to essentially do the same thing. I just swapped some tokens on there as well. And in general, I just kind of played around with a couple other apps and explored and kind of figured out what the ZKSYNC ecosystem has to offer. And that's really kind of my strategy with all of these airdrops, is I'm just trying the ecosystem out. I'm trying to explore it, trying to learn it, trying to figure out maybe if there's any cool apps on it that have potential to be like the next big GMX type app. And that's really my strategy. And that's really what you kind of want to do if you want to earn the airdrops, is you want to use the blockchain in a way that a normal user would use it. Also, I'm going to have links to everything that I talk about in the description of this video. So if you're looking for a link for something that I'm mentioning, it'll be in the description of this video. Airdrop number 2 is StarkNet. It also, like ZKSYNC, is a ZK rollup, but it takes a very different approach than ZKSYNC ended up taking. And I'm not going to really get into all of the kind of technical details of how it works, but the big overall important point is that there's a very high chance that StarkNet ends up at some point having an airdrop. To get started with this one, you'll need to download MetaMask. Then, kind of different than usual, you're gonna have to download Argent X Wallet. Unlike ZKSYNC, Starkware isn't EVM compatible. If you don't know what that means, it really doesn't matter. It just basically means that you're gonna have to download this additional wallet in order to interact with the StarkNet blockchain. Once you have both wallets set up, you're going to have to go to Starkgate, which is the bridge for StarkNet, and bridge over funds from your MetaMask to StarkNet. From there, you can use MySwap or JediSwap to make some swaps, and in general, just explore the ecosystem. And again, remember, they want to airdrop tokens to actual users, so don't be someone who's just making swaps. Actually use the ecosystem, actually do things that a normal user would do, and that's going to give you a lot higher chance of actually earning an airdrop. Airdrop number 3 is Sui. Sui is an alt layer 1 network like AFFLIATE, Solana, etc., and it promises to be like, super fast, super cheap fees, and all the things they always promise. Really not going to get too much into the details other than to say that they currently don't have a live token, and that means we could potentially get an airdrop from Sui. To get started with this one, you're going to need to install the Sui wallet, request DevNet tokens by clicking the button in the wallet, and then go do stuff, which you can conveniently do all that stuff actually in the wallet as well. I minted some weird NFTs, I played some games, and I staked my Sui to earn more Sui. It's important to note if you want to stake your Sui, you're going to have to request DevNet tokens twice. Normally the token for request DevNet is straight up right in the middle of the wallet. Once you click that, it won't be there. You'll have to go into the menu, but you can still request more DevNet tokens, which you'll need at least 2 to actually go stake your Sui. Also important to note that these are just test tokens. If you're kind of confused, you're like, wait, you said they don't have a token, but then you're talking about their token. These are just test tokens. They're not real. They don't really have value. They're just for the purposes of testing out the wallet, testing out the blockchain. And the idea is that because you're testing it and kind of exploring it really, really early, that's kind of like your way of raising your hand and say, hey, I'm a real user who's really passionate about this and I deserve an airdrop. Airdrop number 4 is Layer 0. Layer 0 is an omni-chain protocol connecting a lot of different blockchains and Web3 tech together. They've raised over $170 million in funding, which is more than Arbitrum raised, and they currently don't have a token, which makes this potentially a great candidate for an airdrop. For me, what I did is I used the USDC testnet to bridge over assets, and it's kind of confusing when you're on the testnet site, which again, there's a link in the description, right under where you would bridge over assets, there's 2 little buttons, and from them you can request USDC testnet tokens, and you can request testnet ETH. I also used Stargate Bridge and Aptos Bridge and just messed around with as many of the apps that I could find in the ecosystem. This one's a little bit less straightforward on what you should necessarily be doing. There's not a tried and proven method of go do this thing. We're really just kind of guessing our way through this one, but hopefully what we're doing is enough. That's the joy, that's the passion, that's the adventure behind airdrop hunting. Is you don't really know. You don't know if you're gonna dig up some gold or if you're gonna dig up some nothing. And so hopefully this allows us to dig up some gold, and if not, then we learned a few new things. Finally, we have Scroll, yet another ZK rollup built on top of Ethereum. Like ZKSYNC, Scroll is an EVM compatible ZK rollup, which means that apps that are built on Ethereum can really easily come and build on Scroll. Recently, Scroll launched their testnet, and I'm willing to bet, just like Arbitrum, just like Optimism, they're gonna have an airdrop at some point where users are gonna make anywhere from $1,000 to $50,000, just like they did with Optimism, just like they did with Arbitrum. And by using the testnet, you're saying, hey, I am an early user. I'm really early to this thing. Look how dedicated I am to Scroll. And if you're going to give free money to anyone, you should definitely give it to me, because I am, look at me. I'm using testnet tokens. Most people don't even know what that is, but I do. And for this one, you need to go to the Scroll testnet. And again, the link is in the description, and you're gonna need to add the layer 1 and layer 2 networks to your wallet. From there, you'll have to use yet another faucet to get testnet tokens. I linked my favorite ETH faucet in the description because it is weirdly difficult to get ETH testnet tokens. And once you have some ETH, you can bridge it over from the ETH testnet to the Scroll testnet. And from there, again, like I've said a million times, you're just going to go use apps, you're going to go do things, and you're going to go pretend like you're a real user of this platform, because one day you might be a real user of this platform. It might be awesome, and you might love this. It might have your favorite app on it or whatever. So go use it, go explore, see what you can find. Maybe you find like this crazy new concept that you've never thought about or nobody's ever talked about in the crypto space. You're like, wow, this is really amazing. Oh, they have a token, I'm going to buy it. And then boom, maybe that token ends up becoming this $1 billion market cap token next bull run, and you make $1 million and go live in the Tahiti and live your dream life. I don't know. The idea is that like education is powerful, knowledge is powerful, learning is powerful. And so you're learning all these things super early, and potentially because of that learning, because you're doing things that you should be doing already, you get rewarded potentially later down the line with an amazing, spectacular Scroll airdrop. If you're interested in joining the Obsidian Council, I actually post a monthly airdrop report where I go through like multiple different airdrop opportunities. I talk about how to do it. I include all the links on how to do it. And I've been putting these airdrop guides out for a little bit now, and we had a few people that were able to cover their entire membership for like years because of just one airdrop. On top of the airdrop guide, I also put out monthly research reports and a bunch of other really cool stuff, including in-person events, which we have one coming up this summer where we're going to go to the beach and it's going to be awesome. If community and research and airdrop guides all sound like something fun to you, there's a link in the description below if you want to check it out. On top of that, I'm going to have a podcast coming out where I'm going to dive into airdrops and how to really maximize your strategy airdrop farming. If that's something you're interested in, I have a link to my podcast in the description below. You can go check that out, subscribe to the podcast, and that way you can see that episode when it comes out. And as always, none of this is investment advice. None of this is me telling you that you need to go do these things. I'm not your mom, I'm not your financial advisor. You don't need to just automatically copy everything I'm saying. You should always be doing your own research. You should always be learning on your own. And as an adult, you should take responsibility for your own actions. If this video was helpful, make sure to hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, or maybe you have an airdrop you want to recommend, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it to be notified each time I release a video like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.